This is Bottom Line Liberia.
Through trials and tribulations, you have prevailed. The spirit is unbreakable, never derailed. With a rich heritage and culture and grace, Liberia, you are the land we embrace.
You are welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia.
Welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia discussions on this beautiful, beautiful Friday evening, the weekend. That's the second weekend now in the month of I almost said March, September 2025. But let me say welcome to you, Paul, all the way from London. And how are you this beautiful evening?
Linford, look, I am great to be here today. It's good to be here. I'm good, and I want to say the Lord Cholope is happy to be among the living. So, and I'm happy to be in paradise these days. So, I want to say thanks to the Almighty for giving me that strength and energy to be among the living and the good people on the planet Earth. How you doing, my brother? I'm great.
Oh, well, I'm fine, health-wise. When the kids start kindergarten, every day they bring in something home. Somebody knows running, and when they bring it, everybody got to share it. So, yeah, we've been down with a little bit of cold, but we getting better. And the next thing is that the weather has changed a lot. The autumn is here. The trees are getting yellow now, and it's been raining for 2 days like that. And so, but otherwise, everything else is good. But we are going to be tonight fiery and then bringing on the news as they are. And so we hope that our viewers will help us to share the show. If you're joining us, just share the show. Click on the button there, the like button, and then try to share the show. Right in your box. You can share it to your friends, and let your friends watch too. So tonight we're going to be discussing a lot of issues. We're going to be talking from the home front. We're going to be talking international and so forth. So we want to say welcome to you. If this is the first time, this is the Bottom Line Liberia discussions. My name is Lim Fodgoa. I'm here in Norway, and Paul the Lord Chocolate is all the way there in the UK. But Paul, you wanna tell us a little bit of what we'll be discussing, and then from there we can maybe take a quick musical break and come by while our viewers share the show.
Yes, Linford, thank you very much, and thanks to our viewer for joining us. Kindly share the show. Be interesting tonight. We'll be talking about on the international scene. We're going to look at Donald Trump versus Netanyahu. Are these two gentlemen mean well for the war? We'll be looking at that. And then also, we'll be going to Liberia and look at the newspaper in Liberia. There is an allegation that has been raised from the Deputy Minister of Youth and Sport that the accused of he was being accused of raping a 14-year-old girl. We'll be looking at that in Liberia. And so tonight the focus then we'll also be looking at the shooting in the US and what made US so violent when it comes to Gulf crime and things. So we'll be looking at that on the international scene. So Linford, those are the things that I have on my desk. What do you have on your end?
Well, basically that's it. We try to. I mean, it's a lot of things happening. So what we try to do is try to pick the ones that are important that the public would like to hear, and then and bring it on. Or else we got a lot of things happening. So we first of all take the most important one, and just like you said, that's what we'll be discussing tonight. But if time permits us, we'll also be listening to Mr. Cummings, the ANC leader. I think the ANC is going to have a convention in a couple of weeks to come. So he's talking about that. A lot of people say Mr. Cummings has been quiet. Where is he? What is he doing? And I'm online fighting people. Oh, my man, where is Mr. Cummings? Is he running? Is it that? So I think a lot of people willing to hear from Mr. Cummings again. So we'll be bringing him on shortly, and that will be it.
Great, great. Oh, my PC is I think I'm frozen. If you can hear me, Linfo, I'm in frozen. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I hear you.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's good. It'd be good to hear from Mr. Cummings because he been quiet, and then in Liberia, we know that a lot of people have been talking about the third option. So the third option now is what we'll be looking at. So is Mr. Cummings going to be in a race? Is ANC going to start the ball rolling? Is something that we're going to look at later on in the program. So we can take a musical break while we share the show. So because it's Friday, I mean, let's entertain our audience with some Liberian music. So we hit this guy, Teddy Rod and CRC.
Teddy Rod, Teddy Rod, baby girl, my baby play me saga logo, because she never told me the mogo. She gave me koto, she treat me like one in photo. Nah, she won't get inside my photo. She gave me koto, she treat me like one in photo. Anyhow, my friend, I get her saga logo. She gave me koto, she treat me like one in photo. Ma, you know listen, ma, oh. Baby, no listen, ma. Ma, you know listen, ma, oh. Baby, no listen, ma. Because no listen, ma, oh. Ma, you know listen, ma. Ma, you know listen, ma, oh. Baby, no listen, ma. Me, I want all the Ghana when they be in cassava. Eh, now you never choose a fan over. Now because I let you must do me tabata. Eh, your beans you cooking now on. Sweet, I'm gonna they let me wait in London. Where I get it, I mean, baby, where you come from? She won't follow me, go see mama. Waiting, give me that sugar, do. She won't follow me, go see mama. Waiting, give me that sugar, do. What you give me that you got know? Now you all the kind of wanna know. What you give me that you got know? Now you all the kind of wanna know. Ma, you know listen, ma, oh. Baby, no listen, ma. Ma, you know listen, ma, oh. Baby, no listen, ma.
Pull us up, my yeah. Banjo my heart, celebrate the piece of sewa. Please don't show me that pepe. The way you find me, your friend and said okay wa. Raise me down and steal my heart, oh. Say my candy for the people dollar penny. See how you find you looking sweet and yummy, oh. Let us say la for you, le for me, oh. She on me, she won't stay inside my photo. Now when she want my call, let when she run though. Yeah, she won't follow me to see me bell. What if she go inside the coco?
Ma, you know listen, ma, oh. Baby, no listen, ma. Ma, you know listen, ma, oh. Baby, no listen, ma. Because no listen, ma, oh. Ma, you know listen, ma. Ma, you know listen, ma, oh. Baby, no listen, ma.
Welcome to the bottom line discussion. This is the place that we discuss issues relating to Liberia and internationally. For those of you that joining us for the first time, this is the Lord Cholope on the podcast based in London, crowding precisely. My colleague Linford one is in studio B will be joining us in a minute. Here comes Linford. So welcome to the show. If you joining us for the very first time, kindly share the show. It will be interesting. Linford, my dear brother, welcome to the bottom line discussion. What say you? You're muted. You're muted. You're muted, Linford.
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. like I said, tonight is going to be a good show, and we're going to be bringing you the news as they happen. You may have heard some of these things that we'll be talking about already, but we are taking it from our own perspectives, how we see it, and so that's what the news is all about. If something happens on Broad Street, you got 1,000 people looking at it, but when those 1,000 people go home, they'll be interpreting it different ways in their own way. So that's what we do here on the show. We give our own perspectives on it. We are not experts on any topic here, but we try our best to discuss the essence of the news. So Paul, like you said, tonight is going to be a great show. We will be looking international as well as local. When we talk about local, we mean in Liberia, things that are happening in Liberia. By the way, the president and delegation are in the United States of America to attend the GA. Paul, what do you expect that Liberia will be propounding at this year's GA?
Nothing good they will come out with, because even wherever way America goes, that's where Liberia will be going. So there's nothing good that they will say, to be honest, because today, even at the UN, there was this vote to make Pakistan a state. So usually America will veto, but I want to know if Liberia voted for it. So that's what we'll be looking at, because usually they always go by the slave master. So I don't expect anything good from them, to be honest. So that's what I would say. You expect any good news from there?
Well, I mean, I will take a different stance on this one, knowing that Liberia is an independent state or country. So we believe that we can propound our own views, in as much as we may lean on the side where United States is leaning, given the historical ties between the two countries. We also have our own stance, and it has happened many times. I think Liberia has voted maybe against the interests of America in some cases, and that didn't go down well. We know that, but I think Liberia had done it before. And so even when it comes to the two-China policies that we have in Liberia, most times Liberia leans to the south mainland and then sometimes go to Taiwan, and it creates problem. But we are independent, so we're actually capable of making our own decisions and taking our own stance. So I can't just write it off like that. Nothing good will come from there. Yeah, we may
So,
lean. I'm not
let, let,
denying
me-
it.
let's get this topic right. The United Nations, in my view, is a useless organization. And a useless organization, when people assemble, what do you get from there? Even look at how it's structured. You have three countries in Europe that are permanent member of the Security Council. You get one in North America and one in Asia. There's none from Africa on that. There's none from the Middle East on that. These are the people, when you come up with agreement and one person wake up and say, veto it, it won't happen. It's a useless organization called United Nations. They only there to enriching themselves. They say peace, 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 but sometimes you find out the whole thing about the United Nations is about enriching themselves. It's a useless organization. I think United Nations should be dissolved, because there is no reason why that you have United Nations. One guy will say that and veto the whole thing, and then it just died now. Look at the crisis in the Middle East, Palestine. On earth, America have vetoed it over and over. Nobody can say anything about it. America, Great Britain, France. Whoa, by the way, why do you have Russia in Europe? You have Britain in Europe, you have France in Europe. There are three. Why is it that only one country from here could not come to be permanent member of that security? They have to give it to three European countries, the colonial master. So it's a useless organization that
But if you term it as useless, probably it's opinionated. It's your opinion, but it's
that's
not a
what I
fact.
said. That's what
Yeah,
I said.
but what I would say is that you got to look at the historicity of the United Nations, where it was founded, how it was founded, who brought it about. And so these guys, they brought the idea of this thing. And so when they brought it, they gave themselves the power. It's like,
No. Before you had a League of Nations, right?
I agree.
Okay. There was an African country that became founding member of that League of Nations, founding member of the UN. Why that African nation did not become permanent member of that situation?
But you gotta look at the criteria set. I think
which criteria?
You got to be a powerful nation. You got to be a powerful nation to be a permanent member of this.
But this is what I say. It's not balanced. That will make it useless because if everybody
it's not balanced, so it's not useless.
It's everybody to be
it's not balanced.
Powerful nation.
It is still useful, but it's not balanced.
So so in Africa, how many powerful nations in Africa?
None. Compared to those countries that we get in.
So in Asia, how many powerful nations in Asia? Let's go back. China, 40 years ago, China was not powerful, but they part of so let's look at it.
Yeah, but it's saw that potential.
Why is it Japan that was the most powerful nation is not part of it?
Because Japan stood against America.
Japan stood. So that's what I'm saying. If you want to balance the geopolitics, Africa was denied because the Europeans decided to colonize Africa. So the three countries apart from Russia, Britain and France, they are colonial powers.
Well, let me ask you one question. If you are a colonial master, you think you and your colony will sit on the same table to share equal power? No.
You use a word here said Liberia is a sovereign nation. They were a sovereign nation when they founded the League of Nations. They were a sovereign nation when they founded it. They were part of the founding member of the UN after the war. So if you want to have an equal, because the whole thing, United Nations will be peaceful, but United Nations is not peaceful. That they will carry thing on the table. America will say, no, it's not happening. It died natural death. So what is the purpose of UN? Because UN is supposed to be where people go to carry their dispute. But if you have 5 persons that will deny people dispute, then what is the point of it? It should be dissolved. It's useless. And that's my argument. You see? So yeah, you muted, bro. You muted.
Like we normally do on this program, we do disagree and agree. But I would say that in as much as the UN is still not doing, in my view, most of what it should do, it is not balanced. 1, 2, the powers are in the hands of few people. 3, other countries are only there to attend. They don't make any decisions. So, but again, the name alone, United Nations. So that gives us at least that sense of belongingness that we belong somewhere, and that we can go for every year. We go for that General Assembly. We go there, and then from there we come home. We say we want to attend the General Assembly. So whatever happens there, at least we are a member. And I will also say that the United Nations has helped, even though countries that are not members of the Security Council have received some help from the UN. Like, for example, our own Liberia, when we had war, the UN, was present in Liberia with a various paraphernalia. They did what they could do for us. And not only Liberia, other countries too. So, we can outrightly, erase it that they are not useful or stuff like that. So, yeah. But I think by all means the US should still exist. All we could do is to modify it. I think you agree with me that we shouldn't dissolve it, but it can be modified.
So if they decide to make it modify will sound much better. That means you should have countries in Africa to be a permanent member of that so-called Security Council. Because if you have 3 countries from Europe, then while there's no country from Africa, it's on there as a permanent member. We can put it wherever we want to put it, but it's not balanced. Because it's not balanced, so you can't say anything about it. So people will say, oh, look, this is what people in Palestine today are suffering. And the whole thing, it needs to be modified that no one person must have the veto power to say this one. It's nonsense. So 5%, 4% agree. One person said no, it's a dead end. What's that? I mean, let's be logical in this one. I think United Nations, they can only talk. Great Britain, France, America, when they veto something, Russia and China veto, that's it. Dead end. Anyway, while talking about United Nations, there's something about what is happening internationally. Donald Trump versus Netanyahu. We'll be looking at it. Is Donald Trump really a peacemaker or he can create mayhem for the world? Then we look at what's happening in Ukraine. Ukraine and Russia. Is Ukraine want to drag other European countries into the war? That is the allegation now. They came out with, they said 7 drones were sent from Russia to Poland. The question here is it Russia that sent those drones or is the Ukrainian that sent the drones to draw in other European nations? That's the question. Now, this will interest you. Russia has been sitting now in their corner for years, even when it was USSR. They never took their military might to other countries. But it's always NATO that keep pushing closer to Russia. Now, the 32 nations that put together form this so-called NATO, where their focus is Russia. They keep moving closer to Russia. So when Russia retaliates, they say, oh, that's the bad guy. But you ever heard Russia coming on the show of the Great Britain or France? No, it's these people always going closer. So this is the situation now. So we're going to dive into this. Is Zelensky want to escalate the war, bring in other European countries? So we'll start on this, then we'll. So let's listen to George Galloway and Scott Racto. This is very interesting topic. Follow up. We need your comment
to deliver anything at all to the war front. Would you say?
No, I agree with that assessment. This is why what happened yesterday is very important. As you might be aware, there were reports of up to 7 Russian drones crossing into Polish airspace. This has now become a major crisis where Poland has, basically asked for Article 4 protection. The NATO membership is now meeting to talk about how to respond to this act of Russian aggression. But what we know is that this wasn't Russian aggression. What we know is that this was a Ukrainian electronic warfare operation that has been orchestrated by NATO. For years, Ukraine has been building something called the Pokrova system, and it's a integrated electronic warfare system that is designed to take control of Russian drones. First, it was done to crash the drones. Then it was done to retarget the drones into Russia. Over the past several months, 100 Russian drones have been taken over by the Ukrainians and sent back into Russia. We know this. The Ukrainians admit it. And what we have here today is that Ukraine took over 7, 8 Russian drones and sent them into Polish airspace. We know this. We can detect this. NATO knows this. This is a false flag operation by the Ukrainians designed in an act of desperation to get NATO to intervene. I'm hopeful that the President of the United States will be fully briefed on Pokrova, on the electronic warfare situation, shown the intelligence that shows that these drones were captured by the Ukrainians and redirected by the Ukrainians. But, what we're going to see now is increasing acts of desperation by Ukraine designed to create provocations that will lure Europe into their losing conflict with Russia. It's a very dangerous situation right now.
Linford, this is a former U.S. Marine, and he also a former weapon inspector that went to Iraq. Very knowledgeable guy. This situation, because Zelensky and Ukraine are losing the war big time, they want to have other European countries involved. And NATO is part of the plan. So why?
I wouldn't think that it is Zelensky that is wanting, other European countries to get involved. It is those European countries that want Zelensky to do the dirty job for them, to start the war, and then they can join to fight. Because, I mean, if some European countries can form themselves and call themselves the coalition of the willing, what does that tell you? What are they willing to do? Why are they willing to go fight a war that is not a war? So yes, it may be Zelensky. It may be like Zelensky is asking for help, which anybody in a war situation could do. They will ask for or help in the form of weapons, in the form of military hardware, military intelligence, and stuff like that, manpower and stuff like that. But basically, I would think that it's not Zelensky that is pushing. It is those countries that think that they can use Ukraine to front their war, and then they will be in the back to fight. But the question is, how much can they do? How much can they assist Ukraine in this war? Are they willing to put boots on the ground, or are they only going to give military intelligence or weapons or weaponry or me? This is the biggest question that if I was Zelensky, I'll be asking. Yes, you're pushing me to fight this war. I agree. The war is going almost 2 years. I'm losing men. I'm losing ground. So how are you going to help me to do it? Or what are you going to do? The place that the place that I've reached, I can do more than that. And you still want me to sustain this war. What are you going to do? But I'm not sure whether he's asking those critical questions, and I'm not sure whether those countries, those coalition of the willing, are telling him what they can offer. So it's we on the outside, we can only speculate, right? Because we're not inside.
Yeah. And Linford, another thing to be added on this, the so-called coalition of the waiting. Do you know the British Prime Minister and Macron, they are in deep, also the German Chancellor. France is actually bankrupt since Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali kicked France out of there, start using their natural resources that were getting the money. France is bankrupt. They have changed prime minister 4 times now. So Macron is going. Now, the UK prime minister, Starmer, is performing poorly. His focus is on the coalition of the waiting, but the people here don't like him. So by December, it has been speculated by December, there will be a leadership challenge. So he will be out. So if Zelensky cannot pick up these symptoms or what is happening now, do you know that he just a pawn that been used? It's like you playing a chess game, and you now in the middle who die quicker the pawn die because the king, all of these queen and king, they get people that protect them. So Zelensky being used as a pawn, so he's now feeding the way. But then does this guy really understand the geopolitics that been playing, that his country is being used in a way that people are dying? And as this thing continue, because what happened to the Russia and Belarus, they did a military drill that they started testing for the next few days, and they scaring NATO more. So Russia said, we're just doing our thing and preparing just for whatever happened. And it's scared. So Zelensky have not grasped this yet. I don't know. What do you think?
So you see, the thing is, this is a long-standing feud, right? Like you name certain countries. Look at Germany. When it comes to Germany and Russia, I don't know how can they sit face to face from that Hitler war. How can they sit face to face to solve that problem? This is a long-standing confusion between the two countries. Then you got France and England, who are also powerful nations in Europe, and they will all want to come together. Logically, they will all want to come together to fight this one big common enemy, which is Russia. But the question is, are they willing to put in much support? Because imagine, ask yourself, how will Great Britain just wake up one morning and go join this war? Because they got no cause to go fight it. Russia has not touched them. And if they do that, they will be causing other countries who are also friendly with Russia to come in the war. So this is a bit technical for them. France cannot wake up the same way one morning and go fight and go join this war. So what they're trying to, like, you use the right word, they're trying to use Ukraine as a pawn in this chess game. All the kings and queens are at the back, and you put a pawn ahead. Okay, I don't play chess. I never I don't know I have no idea what chess, but I hear people say that. But I mean, literally, it's like you're pushing the little boy to go fight your war. I would call this one a proxy war, because you want to fight Ukraine. I mean, you want to fight Russia, but you cannot face Russia directly. So you want to use another little country to go fight Russia. And how much are you doing to help that little country? So, like I said, they got to sort it out, or they know what they're doing, because we are not in there, so they know what they're doing.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. So let's continue. The question here is, Donald Trump won the Nobel Peace Prize because Barack Obama won it. Donald Trump came saying he's the peacemaker of the world. But is he really a peacemaker of the world? That is the question, because Donald Trump told the world that he stopped 7 wars in his own mind. But then Donald Trump had this thing that he will organize a meeting, especially a peace talk meeting. And then at that peace talk meeting, he will allow Netanyahu Israel to go and bomb the very people that they organized. So is it Donald Trump is a game player or he's a peacemaker? So now what happened in Qatar? We want to look at what happened in Qatar. It was organized by the Americans. How did Netanyahu know where these people were meeting for them to strike? Who gave them the information? So the question here is, Donald Trump a peacemaker, or Donald Trump is just another warlord that pretends to be a peacemaker? So let's listen to the thing and then you come out. So we're getting the thing from first post. The data analysis on this. So first post, let's listen to them and then we can take it from them. Donald Trump versus Netanyahu.
Donald Trump is facing a new crisis, courtesy Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel. 2 days ago, Israel attacked Qatar, a direct military strike. It was a bold move and a major blow to America's Gulf strategy. Qatar is a key U.S. defense partner. It's a critical node in West Asia's military balance. Remember, less than 4 months back, Trump was in Doha, the capital of Qatar. It was his first foreign trip as president in the second term. And Trump signed a major defense pact. It was meant to deepen ties and cement Qatar's role in America's West Asia policy. But Israel, which is another close American ally in the region, may have bombed that agreement. Inside the White House, there's growing frustration. President Trump is not happy. Fresh reports have emerged. They say Trump spoke with Netanyahu after the strike on Qatar. The call happened on the same day, and according to senior U.S. officials, it was a heated exchange. Trump told Netanyahu that the strike on Qatar was, quote-unquote, unwise. And what was Netanyahu's response? Well, he said he had only a brief window to act, so he decided to go ahead. And the conversation did not end there. A second phone call followed, apparently on the same day. This time, Trump was more measured. He asked Netanyahu if the strike had worked, and Netanyahu said he wasn't sure. Hours later, the Hamas confirmed the toll. 6 lower-level operatives were killed, but the Hamas leadership survived. Later, Trump spoke to the press, and he said he was unhappy about the situation.
Well, I'm not thrilled. I'm not thrilled about it. I don't have to do that. I'm not thrilled about the whole situation. It's not a good situation. I was very unhappy about it. Very unhappy about every aspect, and we got to get the hostages back. But I was very unhappy about the way that went down.
The number of times he said very unhappy. So what made him so unhappy? Well, Trump learned about the strikes well after they began, and that too not from Israel, but from the U.S. military. In other words, Netanyahu once again kept him in the dark. What's worse, he attacked Doha, the capital city of Qatar. Israel says the target was Hamas leadership in the city. Washington says Qatar was informed in advance, but Qatar says that's a lie. In fact, they have publicly rejected the claim. And this only deepens Trump's problems. For months, he has pushed for a ceasefire in Gaza and for the release of Israeli hostages held by Hamas. But this strike has killed any prospects of peace. You see, Qatar was the one leading the talks. It was mediating between Israel and Hamas, and Israel went ahead and bombed it. As the Qatari Prime Minister puts it, Netanyahu has, and I'm quoting, killed any hope of a hostage deal. He called the airstrike on Doha an act of state terror. And how did Netanyahu respond? Well, he has issued a warning to Qatar.
We went after the terrorist masterminds who committed the October 7th massacre. And we did so in Qatar, which gives safe haven. It harbors terrorists. It finances Hamas. It gives its terrorist chieftains sumptuous villas. It gives them everything. And I say to Qatar and all nations who harbor terrorists, you either expel them or you bring them to justice. Because if you don't, we will.
Doha has called an emergency summit. They've called Arab leaders to meet over the weekend. They will discuss Israel's attack and possibly a response. Now, whichever way you look at it, West Asia is more unstable, if that was even possible. And once again, Israel is at the center of the storm. Also, the strike on Qatar was not isolated. It's part of a wider escalation. In the past 72 hours, Israel has attacked 5 countries. 5 countries in 72 hours, and this is apart from its war in Gaza, which is also intensifying. Israel is pounding Gaza with airstrikes. At least 150 people have died this week. On Monday, Israel also struck 2 districts in Lebanon. 5 people were killed. Israel said it was targeting Hezbollah positions, even though they have a ceasefire in place with the Hezbollah. Next, Israel struck Syria. It hit a Syrian Air Force base in Homs. The 4th target was Tunisia. Reports say Israel struck it with a drone on Monday. It hit a ship that was bound for Gaza. The 5th operation was in Qatar. We've already told you about it. And yesterday, Yemen was hit. Israel bombed the Sana'a airport. Fires were seen on the tarmac. So this is escalating. Israel is widening its campaign. Its war is spilling across borders and dragging more countries into the crisis. Yesterday, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke with Qatar's Amir, and he condemned the Israeli strikes on Doha. The government statement does not name Israel, but it terms the strike, and I'm quoting, a violation of sovereignty. Prime Minister Modi also asserted the need for dialogue and diplomacy. In fact, that's been India's position all along. For Donald Trump, West Asia is becoming a headache. He prides himself on restraint. He loves to claim that he is ending wars across the world, but he is clearly failing in West Asia and struggling to reign in Israel, an ally that keeps defying America's warnings.
Well, so we watched the video, we watched the analysis from First Post. Donald Trump is now a confused agent. The world peacemaker now is very confused. So Netanyahu is headed for Donald Trump. So Netanyahu said in that video, who they claim to be terrorists, they can go around bumping any country they want to bomb because America got their backing. My brother Linford, what say you?
Well, you know, I will tell you something. Nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever. And all this Israel attack on 5 countries within 72 hours, this is a glaring, and I like the patience, right? I like the patience of those countries. How easily they are taking the attack. They are solving it, they're waiting, they're not rushing, and they'll respond. Did you hear that lady say that Qatar had already convened a meeting of the Arab states, and they will be discussing possible response? Now, this Israel, they say America got a backing. So I think then it's time for America to go to war with the rest of the world, because Israel attacked Iran, and we saw when Iran responded, America swiftly went there. So it is true that America is backing Israel. I mean, it's no doubt about that. Okay, so if you got your dog and you're sending this dog to go attack other people, when they begin to go after that dog, and the door runs to you, maybe they will come to you too. So let's see how the Arab countries will respond, because I'm sure Israel is not as strong enough to fight Qatar, Iran, Syria, even though Tunisia is in Africa, but attacking Tunisia, you're attacking North Africa, Egypt, and all the countries. So there is something that is unfolding. The journalist said it, whether Iran, or Israel is provoking or trying to get other countries involved in this war. Because I don't know, they're fighting little Hezbollah that using no gun, or the Palestinian, I call that group Hamas, that got no weapons. They still cannot win. All they do is to go and bomb. Okay? Then you dragging in other countries. If this thing escalates, do you know what's going to happen? Yeah, I know America. America will not go open war in 5 countries at the same time. It will be difficult. They might concentrate maybe on Gaza, because Gaza they want to take. Maybe level Gaza, kill all the people, and then now they can start extending. And in that process, where they will be attacking Gaza, the other country will not be sitting and will be hitting American targets. They got American targets all over. And in war, there's no referee in war to say, well, the rest say, oh, you cannot go over the line when you go there, you offside. No. In war, you look for the weakest point of your opponent. You look for the point where you will hit, and then you will paralyze them. So I don't know how far they will go, but if it is true that Israel is depending on America to go start all these wars, I got one advice for Netanyahu. Do not start a war that you can end. If you think you can end a war, then you can start, but do not start a war. You can't fight or you can't end. We saw this thing with Iran. Iran just hit you one morning, and then you decide to go cry to America. They see America. Today, Donald Trump can say, no, well, I got too much on my plate. I'm not going to help you. What are you going to do? And you got war open with 5 countries. So, I don't know, but well, I think he's already wearing roller skate and then walking on slippery ice.
That I think that's it. So the worry for Donald Trump now, he have the Middle East to deal with, he have Europe to deal with, and then he want to invade Venezuela as well. So this peacemaker, he got a lot of problem on his hands. So I don't know how he's gonna do it.
And one thing I forgot to mention, you talk about peacemaker. I know the Nobel Peace Prize people, they're not crazy people. I know these people. I don't know them, but I think I know how the committee operates. People, you got to show work. You got to show something that you've done. You're not going to tell them, say, I bombed Iran because they were fighting with.
And for Joseph Cotto said something here. The Arab world cannot do anything. He's right. Guess what? The larger American base, I think, is in Qatar. They're supposed to be protecting them. But how come Israel now, they knew what was happening? So that's what I'm saying. Is this Donald Trump? Is a calm president, or he playing two-faced with these people? Remember, Qatar also gave Donald Trump a big airplane not long ago with all the best gifts in the world for protection. And what happened? Cotto is right here.
No, see, yeah, but you have to say this thing. When Joe say that the Arab world cannot do it, remember, okay, there are certain Arab worlds and certain part of the Arab world that are good standing with America. Okay, even in Europe, you got a country like Georgia, that pure American colony. Let me put it that way. You got Saudi. Saudi is American, pro-American, and Qatar as well. But the rest of the Arab world, so you can't get outright and say they can't do anything. And Paul, like you said, maybe they know, maybe Netanyahu and Trump know what they're doing. That's why they just want to target that particular part of Qatar where they say the Hamas people are, to destroy it. But I don't think it's a full-scale war that they...
The thing is, they were going for a peace talk. That was a date set, and they timed everything. And Israel knew the particular location And then they ask the American who want to take out these guys. The answer, go ahead, son. This is what emboldened Netanyahu. Because if you want peace, these people get your hostage. That's they're telling you you have a negotiation and then they give you the hostage, but you tell them, oh, go on, son. So is Donald Trump playing the Arabs here, or what is Donald Trump doing? The peacemaker? That's what I'm saying. Is this
he's actually playing them, because if they go for a meeting, right, or negotiation, and they knew that the Hamas people will be in that particular building at a certain time, and the Israeli will also be there for the meeting. So it's like Liberia and it's like when we had a war in Liberia where you got MPF, you know, all people going to Ghana to go meet. And then one of the warring faction say, okay, when they go there, they'll bomb there. See, so I think it's a play, and that play, Donald Trump is not a peacemaker. No peacemaker in the world will separate children from their parents, build war, you know, on any border. The world, that's why we got United Nations. The world is one. Yes, you got right over your border, but when you're building border, you know, war on your border, and then you separating people, you take their children from there, you send them by, you get the children different place. That's kidnapping. So you know all these things. The Nobel Peace Prize Committee can't look at this thing. That means at the end of the day, nobody will respect the Nobel Peace Prize anymore. You see, because the only thing Donald Trump hasn't done is to take gun he himself to shoot somebody, at least also for people to see. But he's done everything him only bad that can violate human rights.
So therefore, he's Joseph Conto is saying here he served in the U.S. Army and he was based in the Middle East. He's telling us that the Arab cannot do anything. He's not what he's talking about. This. So just
no. I think Joe is speaking as a military man. You know, when you say, I mean, they can't do anything in terms of what? They can't fight, or they don't have the might to fight?
They don't have the might, because what they depend on America. They look, I'm telling you, Qatar, for example, they spend millions of dollars for America to protect the royals. Saudi Arabia is another one. So American protecting them. So the protector will not go for somebody else, and the person he support. So Conto is right here. He's right. This is the thing. You get Egypt.
He's been there physically.
Liberia.
Yeah, he's been there physically.
Yeah, he said there.
Yeah, so I would not, and he's a military man. The last time I came close to the military, that was a long time ago. so I can't deny it, but I'm just looking at it from you know, that America would think that they can go all around the world fighting. That's a lot of resources you spend, a lot of money you spend, a lot of human power. You know, I don't know, but what are you gaining?
They're benefiting. Think on this. Look at how many military bases they have alone in the Middle East to protect all the Arabs kings and queens and whatever they have there. It's the money. Think on it. The interest, that's what they say, the interest is the money they get in what? They sell weapons to these people who benefit America big time. It's the money. So they benefit a lot. It's not for nothing. So why would you want to go protect somebody? Say, for example, you take somebody, say, oh, we're going to protect.
America has become the war watchman now. The watchman.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, this is quite interesting. And Joseph Contos, for a long time, we haven't seen you, man. It's good to welcome back to follow the show. It's good to see you, man. Been a while. So, let's progress.
Yeah, let's progress a little bit and see.
Yeah.
But you know, it's interesting to see all these things unfold because they are happening for reference. And time will come, people will refer to it. People will say, okay, this thing happened at so time. And that's why I like history, you know, because whatever you do, especially in this, world that we live now, everything is documented. There is no way that anything will go undocumented. Everything is documented. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And okay, yeah, but Paul, is there where's the next topic that we can move on?
Oh, no, so let some on America. You brought this thing out about this shooting in America, killing this guy. I don't know about you. You brought this thing out. Talk to me about this.
Okay, about this guy, the controversial guy who was a leftist, I mean a right winger. In other words, he was sorry, I got some small disturbances going on. Okay, he was this kind of free talker, um, provocative, and some people hailed him for his style of talking. And the guy, in my entire life, I've never heard about this guy. Probably I didn't follow on the internet about him. Not until his death. Until when I saw people posting about his death, and I said, well, who is this particular guy that everybody just talking about? Yeah, but Paul, just to go that thing, we can't really talk. So then I went on the internet to see if I can follow his page and follow some of the thing what people were posting about him. And this guy was very provocative. This guy, at some point, he will make sense. Then at some point, he will be very, very unreasonable and say things that violate other people. I mean, I saw one video where the guy outrightly condemned Martin Luther King and called him an awful guy. Then he said black people do not have the sense to improve their own life. The black that he will even question a black power. You see, black power will question their intellect. Oh, then the guy stopped there. You look at George Floyd. All this thing I'm talking, I listened to a video from him. He called George Floyd a scumbag. This is a dead guy that he's beating, calling him a scumbag. All these things, a lot of things about the guy. Okay, so then when I heard that this guy was shot, then I was like, but who is this guy? And everywhere there were mixed reactions, especially between the Democrats. I'm saying between the Democrat, it's not among, but between the two, the Republican and the Democrats, okay, as a party. And then individual people were talking all kinds of things. So one thing that came to my mind, I don't know where I got a conviction from. I was like, the killer of this guy could be white man. Because I listened to some white people what they were saying, despite the fact that this guy was a white guy. So, but the question I kept asking myself, if my guess is correct that the killer of this guy is a white man, where does he come from? Probably, I was just quizzing myself. Probably he will be from the right wing. I mean, or the left wing. He will be from maybe the Democrats. That's where I was going all the time. But the guess that I had that was very strong was that the killer will be white man. And the reason why I said it will be white man was because the black people, if they do that, it will be like they're declaring war on this administration. Because this guy was heavily leaning on the side of this administration, Donald Trump administration. So if any black man did it, that means this black man is betraying the rest of the black people. He's selling them. He's taking them straightly to the slaughterhouse. Nobody will, count what will happen at the end of the day to black people in America. So something was telling me it can't be black man. Well, if any black man does it, then that black man really wanted to just kill black people or to do something else to black people. And luckily for me, my guess came true. Tonight, just this evening, our time, I saw, you can put out acting now. I saw the photo of a guy called Tyler Robinson, right? And this guy is a young guy, 22 years old. Yeah, this is him, 22 years old. When he took this picture, he was 16 years. And I think his mom is Amber Jones Robinson. We're praising him. Happy birthday, happy 16th birthday to my Austin. Okay. He's a letter working, gun-toting, cowboy, loving, brilliant kid. He has so many talents, and it's been so fun to watch them develop. Love you, Austin. Can you imagine? A 16-year-old. And that this boy, 22 years old now, can be the killer of somebody who is also from the same party that the killer's father and mother or parents are from. Okay, and if you go further down the description, they say that they bought even more Donald Trump, uh, 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 you know, I don't know what to call it, So this is not an outsider. So how could this thing happen inside? Is it a work of some group? Because for me, when I follow this Kirk guy, this Charlie Kirk, after I started following from his death yesterday, when I started following all his stories and all of things, I started for long. At first, I started getting mad and whatever, but then I started for long. I said, no, something is happening. This guy is revealing a lot of things, a lot of information that people didn't know. Even the Americans didn't know. Okay? These are things that probably, I'm not sure, but probably that are in a pipeline or that are being discussed behind closed door. And for this guy to just be coming on and saying these things, because what he was saying, you can't just be an advocate to say all these things. You can't just be one ordinary guy who is now privy to information and start saying all these things. So, now it turned out that it's an insider work. So I don't know how the Republicans will react. What are they going to say? Because first of all, they were pointing accusing fingers. So I don't know what they're going to say, but it turned out that it became an insider's work. So I don't know. So we'll wait.
But Linford, this incident is not the first time happening in America. It's an ongoing thing. Even the Donald Trump during the campaign, somebody popped the shot at him. So it's always from within. That's the whole thing with it. So you see.
So should the Republicans sit down and think about themselves, how they're ruling, or about, because there's another video that I saw.
Don't you know that a Republican is the one that when people talk about let's control gun crime in America, it's the Republican that always come strong on it and say no. They use something they call their First Amendment right. That is, you're allowed to carry a gun, anything you want to. You're ready to kill people, you kill people, because the country was based on, it was founded on violence. Think on it. They founded America, they said they discovered land, but the land had people. When they got there, they wiped those people out. And then what they did, that complete violence, what they did, when they wiped those people out, they went and brought Africans as slaves to build our nation. And when the nation got at some point, they said, no, you can go. That's why they sent it to Haiti and all of these plantations, Jamaica and other places. Think on it. And then they sent the other group to Liberia. But then those who remain, what happened? When they remain, they say, oh, no, these guys are too black. Let's do segregation. So the place have been violence. So the nation was built on violence. So they will always use that. And this is why it is. The nation was built on violence.
Talking about they go carrying gun. I have gone because Texas is one of those places. I have gone in a Lagos store, man, to buy my beer. And I saw all the guy, everybody bringing in a lot. I said, wait, what happened? I said, wait, they may not let me go outside. But then, and they're walking in, and that small boy, responsible men, everybody. I said, wait. I can't remember where our country called Liberia. We've been fighting war before, so to just see men walking with going inside, I know in their man. I left it be I was. But let's say welcome to Pandora.
Yeah, thank you very much, gentlemen. I'm glad to be with you guys. And I don't know where is the basis of the topic tonight that I can participate in it, because I was in another talk show to just get through. So I would like to know where are we now, so I can make my contribution.
Oh, a good idea. We just finished with international. We're just discussing the shooting of this young man in America who the controversial guy that were killed. But we want to transition to Liberia, and you came the right time. So that will interest you now. We just talked about Donald Trump and Netanyahu, who playing what? Why Donald Trump giving Netanyahu this superpower to go bumping everywhere and nothing come out of it. We talk about how useless the UN is. I said it, that all organizations should be dissolved because they mean no good for. So we finish with that. Now we proceed to Mama Liberia, where I think you will have in-depth knowledge of what we're going to talk about. Linfo, so this is where we're heading. Mama Liberia. Padole, welcome to the show. It's good to see you. There's a lot of story happening in Liberia. And one of the I think Linfo, you get few things about Musa Bility and few other things. But then what really touched my attention, caught my attention is the ripping off, not that one, a 13-year-old girl. I mean 14-year-old girl by the deputy minister of youth and sports, McGill Bryan. He was accused of rape. The girl accusing a 14-year-old girl. So this guy had been suspended for until the case. The case now is with the police and with Ministry of Gender. So this thing happened yesterday, and this 14-year-old girl. The story goes, the 14-year-old girl mother worked at the Ministry of Youth and Sport as a cook. So the little girl goes there to help her auntie. That's her auntie that worked there as a cook. So when they buy food, they take it to their office, and this little girl will go and collect the dishes to bring it to her aunt. And this situation happened, and this guy being accused of raping this girl. So this is the story, guys. This is the situation in Liberia. A 14-year-old baby, I would say. If this guy is called, he been accused now, so the case is pending, he's suspended, and is under investigation. So, Padole, you follow Liberia. This is the story. What say you?
Yeah, you see, I think you see similar topics were on SKTV concerning about the wonderful human being. The little girl was raped according to the information, and the investigation has already started. The first-hand information about that rape case is the girl had been taken to the hospitals and do examination on her, found out that there's a sign of penetration. So that had already been established. But what the people trying to establish now is who did that penetration. That's where the forensic investigations is going to be conducted. One thing that I do know about this kind of situation in our country, these are the recipe of the poverty. When there's too much agent of poverty in the country, these are the things that you will see in such a society. So the bishop then will take advantage over the poor people and do whatever they want to do to them. So I hope this case will be thoroughly investigated to get a fact about this issue here. Because what I heard, I've been following this case since yesterday. I called people by home, I talked to a couple of people to know actually what they think is really is a true story. Yeah, I got some information that yes, it's true story, it's something like that. The father of the girl is a security assigned to the ministry, but he was scared. You see, he just not yesterday the thing happened. Yesterday the thing came to the public domain, but it happened a couple of times ago. So they be hauling it, they been combing on carpets and see how best that they can keep it that way. But unfortunately, they couldn't bear it, so they have to come up publicly for the world to know about it. But I hope the government will take appropriate steps to put into this matter, because according to the information, is allowed. The deputy minister still denying that he not do anything. but they need to conduct some level of investigations. I don't say investigation to establish the fact that whether he did it or not.
So yeah, Linford, this is the story. This story of book. The father of this girl, he appeared on Spoon yesterday. He called in. He's a security person at the place, and he's explained the situation that the doctor worked at that ministry as a cook, and he laid there whether it was
the cafeteria.
Yeah, so she usually help her aunt to collect plates from the some of the offices that is in the ministry. Now, the 14-year-old child said it was this guy. He denied it. But then when the incident happened, I think on the day itself, for some reason they could not get her to hospital. So, but she was advised not to take bath. So the case at the police station and Ministry of General have been informed. Linford, this is the story in the town. This is Unity Party.
Well, like Padori said, these cases are not new in Liberia. In fact, this girl is 14 years old. I'm not justifying anything. She's 14 years old. But just last week, we were talking about a boy who raped 8-month-old baby, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how people think or what can drive people to do these kind of things. Somebody must have some psychological breakdown, something somewhere not correct in the mind. Because look at this man. And I don't know, Patroli said they are trying to, according to information, they are trying to investigate they found out that there is actually a proof of penetration, but they are trying to but then so how did this man end up being suspended if they are still trying to find out? So is he the prime suspect, or has he been confirmed to be the one that did it? So again, when these kind of stories come out, I know in Liberia people are very careful with this kind of thing. Since it involves a bigger person or big government official, they will make it some kind of way. If it was the last time, in fact Tuesday, when we read the story about our boy from Nima County, right away he was guilty. They brought him down, right? But they are still saying that they're investigating this guy. They suspended him. So time will come, he might not be free. He might end up being out a drawer, because he's in government. But like I said, according to my own experience, when these things happen in Liberia, we gotta be careful, because when it involves people, just like if somebody steals, if this guy steals now from the ministry of sports, they will say, Liberian in peso. Or if the poor boy go and take one pot of grumpy, they will beat in his role already, they will beat in, allocate him or send him to post tacket. So let's wait and see what will happen and how it will end up. And then we can start from there.
This situation, Padole says something about poverty. You see, we teach the children at that age to lie on big person. It's not something, if that older person, you say, oh, they could be like, let's look at the girls that follow footballers here because of money. They are older girls that were all because of money. But for a 14-year-old child, I would say a 14-year-old baby, to point finger of some particular person, they know that when it loud, what will happen? So this thing here, it happened before early time. I think there was a representative from Grand Jeda County. He went to jail, he came back, the child had a baby and all, but then the family, because he had power, they decided to sweep it under the carpet. So when they say big man involved, why did they advise the child not to go to the hospital on that day? Think on it. Because if somebody was smart enough to tell the girl not to have a shower, so they can find out the truth. But the thing is in the police hands now. You see, this is
well, again, I would say if it were one little sour boy then long time of getting the fact.
Yeah.
But in as much as this man can be suspended, I strongly want to believe that he got some connection to it. But if he feels that he got no connection, then of course he will go fight the case in court.
That's another story here again. Yeah, another 11-year-old girl was raped recently in Rock Hill community, ERWA. So this thing is something that is just getting rampant. You see?
You know, again, and let me play the devil's advocate here. Sometimes, like in the case of a 14-year-old girl, we know in Liberia, some children can be 12, 13, they start running behind men. So sometimes it could be, like every day, maybe send they say they get into cooking over there, every day they can go collect the medicine. Every day, and then they probably too, you look at legal can go and something no. Paul, I'm still thinking how the people who can rape with me, even whether that big woman in rape or that small girl in rape, I'm still thinking how they can start because I can't imagine. Okay, so whether there can be some consensus or some kind of eye movement or body movement, I don't know because I don't know how does it start? Or you just see the woman jump, or I don't understand still. So I'm still trying to because
but
my yeah,
a 14-year-old, 11-year-old, they always virgin.
I agree.
So if you may look at them, they see you are follow the person, or if you want to, they'll say stop, uncle, stop, and uncle start forcing her. This is where it led to. So they won't, but then they get father work at that particular ministry, and the father said it.
Yeah, but the question I'm asking is, sorry guys, how does this come to the mind of the person, the man? He said, because look at 14-year-old or 11 years old. Okay, let's go to that 8-year-old boy. How does it come to the mind? What mean? Do they plan it that I'll do it, or is there something?
It's something that have to do with the person mentally. Look at in Europe here. This thing will never hold it in Africa when we're growing up until we came to Europe about pedophile. That they will take. That's why if you go outside with your children, you sit and watch them until you carry them in the house. You can't leave them alone because it's something common in the white community. They go for babies and then they end up killing them. It's something that they do. So people in Liberia and theory here say that juju. The African people can say that juju. That's what they to get more power. Do you know there is a story regarding the royal family in the UK that if you Google this now, you see it. They've been sucking baby's blood to live longer. That's something that is been the stereotype about the royal family here. So people, so they to already here saying it could be juju to empower them more.
Maybe. I mean, we are Africans.
Father, what say you? It could be juju.
To be honest, the raping activity happen often in Africa, but the higher up people take advantage over the poor people to carry on this thing and nothing come out of it. The reason why you can hear this thing there today, because something we call social network like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and things that are rampant. So he's making news viable to everybody. So once something happens, right away, the news can spread all over in the world. So he's making it very difficult for this kind of perpetrator to go free. But it's been going on for ages in our country, more especially those days, the bishop them. You should look for juvenile, small girls. That's all they need to go away. And nothing can out it. When you do anything, they damage some of them. They take small money and give it to their family. They take the child to the hospital. Like, I don't want to be particular about calling names, but this old man, we need to hear it. I don't have physical evidence to establish the fact, but when we were small, we heard it. Like the former president of Liberia's elder brother, they need to call him Frank Tubber. So Frank Tubber, he say that his behavior, he needs to go on with small children. And nothing can hurt it. Publicly, he will grab you and rape you. And nothing can hurt it. This kind of habit been going on before in that country for ages. But I hope this case here, the government will take it very serious and deep into it, because they think involved of a top government official, deputy minister for youth and sport, more especially to play where he is, where he work as a minister. He dealing with youth.
He dealing with the children, yeah.
Yeah. So such a person's case need to be taken into serious consideration. So if he found guilty, he should be kicked away from that end completely. And he should be placed beyond bars to show a serious deterrent to the next people. So that's why I can say this thing about this thing has been happening for ages. Been happening in our country for ages. So the raping cases have been going on for ages. The rape people, more especially one there's no sober peace in the country. The powerful people take advantage and carry on this kind of nonsense.
Yeah, but some, you gotta look at it all, because sometimes they look at it, man. They have and they raping thing here. They have the women, especially women of concern, to look at poor boy walking the street and say they poor boy rape me. That many rich men can rape them because they know what they'll get.
Yeah, look, even poor people can rape people.
No, I'm not saying they can't, but sometimes there is the financial side of it too.
Yeah, that's the reason why situation it requires strong forensic investigation to prove it. It could be because he had already been established that this girl penetration have already occurred.
Yeah, she was raped, and they said it. They did a testing. She was virgin. She was raped.
Yeah, it could be possible she got a leg, ball somewhere around. We're knocking it, but in order for them to gain some financial help and this and that, anything can happen. But we can't just say we should just leave it at that. You understand what I'm saying?
Wait to hear so this guy been suspended. According to the ministry, he been suspended.
Yeah, that's a written something. That's a written something. Because you're not supposed to be in the office while investigation is going on. You know what I mean? You should be supposed to be put aside to disarm him. Now, when we say disarm him, is to take him from power, to reduce his power completely and make him neutral and go into the matter. That's a normal procedure.
So, Linford, what you have for us regarding
Representative Musa Bility is saying that I don't know did I send it to you?
No, you didn't. No.
Okay. Patoli posted it today. It's actually in the Portland Library. I can. Okay, well, let me see if I can. I don't have it on my. I don't have it's only on my computer, so I can pull it up. But Representative Musa Bility of District Number 7 in Nima County, who also owns petroleum product business.
Well, Linford, before you go into it, there's something here for you. You can read it on the screen there. This is from Lucretia. You are absolutely correct, Mr. Dolly, and it has gotten bad over the years. Please do not make that statement again. Linford, sexual assault case should be taken seriously.
Yeah, okay, I agree. See, me, I like to look at it from all sides. Because I remember when I was going to Liberia for the first time after several years in 2014, somebody have asked me, that was Ellington. Say, my man, when you go, we got our carrying car, right? So my friend said, my man, when you go, don't get, you will see some guests standing on the sidewalk, they'll be stopping you. But now you're getting a car, when you're reaching the nearest police checkpoint, then they'll start crying. They say, oh, the man wanted me, the man. Then they put you a hold you, and then you will spend money. Those things were happening. You see it? People, like Patrick said, anything can happen. But again, the investigation is very serious. And I remember that same time when I went, I was driving coming from Freeport Gomi, right to we buy a old Toyota garage there to City Hall. Just before you reach to Agriculture Ministry, I saw one girl standing and she was actually a passenger. So she stopped me. I went small in front. I said, no, let me stop. Then I reversed again. She got in the car. I said, where you going? She said, I'm going to borrow. I said, okay. And just in that time, right around Agriculture Ministry itself, I saw 3 other guys. They stopped me. So I said, hey, at least I got plenty in the car now. So, you know.
Yeah, but that incident we know it's been happening, but with the 11-year-old and the 14-year-old, these are bad incidents, man.
Yeah, I agree. But okay, I mean, I just let it be hypothetical. So the 14 years old girl, she's been working with there for a while, and then
No, she's not working. She's not working.
Okay,
She's not working there.
It's part of work. I mean, she helps us or NT. She can
No,
carry
she's not.
okay, she's not working for pay. She's not working in ministry, but she was working to help us or NT. Let's agree on that. So because she come from outside
she goes to help her auntie. What are the after school? She's not working.
Yeah, okay. What she does there, but at least she's been there for a while.
She's not working there. So yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah, she's not. I agree. She's not working there. But let's say, maybe the auntie will program her and say, you know, man, Paul, this can happen. We live in a country, in a world where
we agree things can happen. That's what the investigation is all about. So the investigation. But the fact is, the guy already, the little girl said it's him, and he said it's not him. So this is the investigation that is going on.
And this is where the investigation will be now. If the guy had put his hand on and say, hey, I did it, and then no investigation. But the guy said that he, and he said that me, or even if that he, there's a reason why. So let's wait and see. Yeah, we're taking this serious, Malu. We're taking this serious.
Like what Linfo just said. Initially, when Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf came into power, when this department were established, Gentiles ministry were established and stuff and things, and they make a strict law that when any man rape a woman or girl, taking advantage over the girls because of prophecies and here and there, the severe punishments will occur. So some of the girls then were doing this thing then to blackmail the bishop. Sometimes they will stand on the wheel and ask for leave. If you're stupid, you allow them in your car, one-on-one. When they're ready to get down, sometimes they will ask you to pay them. So you say, what I pay you for? You say, you finish have sex with me, you say you can't pay. Then it becomes something. You, the senior officers or senior citizens in the country, that you don't want your name to be seen in this kind of newspaper and thing there. You ask them how much you want to give it to them, then you give it to them. The news that also as a means of getting money out of people, that will happen. It is evident to that effect. When he became rampant, the security apparatus begin to employ intelligence on this thing there. And the smartphone business come into it, and they begin to start recording some of the activities and things there. That reduce that kind of tension in Liberia. So that is the country we're talking about. But however, this man, even he have done it, he would never say right away that I have done it. Yeah, I did it. He will deny it until he can be proven in all reasonable doubt. So the government need to put their foot down. The reason I'm saying this for is where he work, he has something to do with the children, youth. So basically, it's not being taken for life. They need to look into it. But the blackmailing system, it can come from all angles. Some of the poor people, they know that you be sure they can get some money out of you, they will blackmail you. That can happen. Sometimes.
And talking about the portfolio that this guy has and where he works, I think this is where in Europe here, if you go to work with any organization that got children or so, or elderly people, or stuff like that, you gotta do police clearance.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
gotta carry police clearance because
Yeah,
they gotta
definitely.
know your history. They
Yeah.
gotta know what you've been doing before and stuff like that. So
No,
but those things are lacking in Liberia. I'm not sure how many jobs you will go to find in Liberia, and then people ask you for police clearance.
no,
I'm sure.
these days you happening, but nowadays appointed position and thing then they don't care police clearance. But these days you getting any job now in Liberia, they will ask for police clearance. But nowadays position
Yeah,
and thing, the director.
you shouldn't make me laugh, yo. Police
Wait,
clearing, they get database to keep any record anybody in Liberia before they
I was just about to say that.
but they are
You
already
came from the police station yesterday. When you go back today, they know you.
they are already started it. They are already started it. To be honest, they are, but this is the point here is this thing. Then these are the reason why we're saying that we really need to digitize the system in our country. To be very frank, we got a lot to do in our country. The war cost a lot of bring us back.
Prior to the war, there were no digital system in Liberia,
So
so
yeah, so
the war
right
nothing.
now, yeah, right now, the war have become a digital state. So obviously, we stay beyond time. So actually, we need to focus on putting the situation online, at least for people, for the entire country to be digital. They need to take sensor on the human being there and get people fingerprinted, all this kind of stuff and things that is required to get.
Okay, I think our time is fast spent, so let's move on to the other story, the Musa Bility, the representative Musa Bility story. Now, he's accusing the government of or saying that he had been informed by the LPRC that as of this year, instead of getting 50 cents on every
35
cents
yeah.
on every gallon of petroleum that is sold, they'll be getting only 2 cents.
No, 5 cents.
5 or 2?
5.
Oh, I saw something like 02.
No,
But
that
anyway,
is early on 5 cents.
Okay, so whether it's fast or not, but the question is, look at that slicing. Isn't it too big?
You want me to comment on it or fortunately?
I think
it's 2 cents. That fast is 2 cents.
Yeah, it's 2 cents.
2 cents. I got the story right here.
They get it 5 cents, they get it 2 cents, they divided it in component, they broke it down. You know, the government is going after the one that causing noise. This is what the government doing. They're going after people that they see critical to them. And Musa Bility, recent time, he started this CNC movement. In fact, he started with the Rule of Law Caucus. Remember, you're very critical of the criminals. So what happened now? This guy been finding ways to break his arm, and this is what they're doing. So they're going for Musa Bility. They're going for him on every little aspect that they can put their hand on. They want to bring him down. They see the movement. They see how he moving. And this also linked, I would say, that Liberian politics people have to study this. You remember, there's a guy called Alexander Cummings. When he came, he was gaining momentum. This same very United Party, they were in coalition. They decided to prosecute him. So this what happened to Musa Bility is not a coincidence, not strange at all. This government is a government that is bad. I would say it. And this girl, you see, in Liberia, because our people they don't learn, they say they gave somebody experience, the most experienced person should lead the country. Yes, we don't do our search. Where the person experience came from, Samuel Doe government. The person experience came from being with Ellen. All right. And the names I just called Dawo Shiba woman. We all know her history. Samuel Doe government, we all know the history. And this is where you have somebody who learned from them to kind lead the country. The country is going for a complete mess. Padore, what say you? I think they after Musa ability to break his arm. That's what they after.
Yeah, what I can say in this case here is the opposition political parties all need to get up or fight against this kind of attitude. Because you see what happened, the ruling establishment, when they continue to do this kind of thing to the citizens, even what they are saying that they're going to the diaspora, calling people to come and serve, to serve their country, to serve their people, and open business, you will also scare them. Because if there is an open secret to show that if you're not part of me as a ruling establishment, if you're not part of my political activity alliance, we will bring you down. Because those are already established on the ground, provide employment for the citizens, and then they have all means of all kinds of funny strategy they can employ to cripple them. So, in that manner, the government is doing a bad precedent, which people, every opposition need to look into it. Not only about Musa Bility. Musa Bility could be today, but fail to realize that the got some opposition in that country, well-renowned opposition in that country, they got business. They got business too. They will go after them. I got information that they have started going after Freeman. So they say they have started going after Freeman. Even sooner or later, his radio station or television station will be closed down, becoming always some kind of contention on him. So they are coming up with all these kind of strategies to break down Musa Bility. They say their argument is this. They say while Musa Bility is talking, the other people are not talking, and Musa Bility is not the only person. Because Musa Bility is a critical person. And Musa Bility is the one that in politics. And Musa Bility, what he doing is strictly on the issue where you people are targeting. That is a story. Musa Bility is not importing like the other people there. The other people there importing, they also selling. But Musa Bility is not importing, is not selling. Musa Bility storing the situation for those that bring in the crude oil into the country. So Musa Bility, that's the only major source of the income. So basically, I don't think he would like to sit down for this thing to claim on his neck. But that is, Musa Bility should not be the only one to fight the case. That all opposition, because the government should not be the one to say, because they come up with some statement that which I can't understand. They say they want to pay 10 show, they want to do this, they want to provide for the citizens, and they want to provide for the bureaucracy in there. So all this thing there is a cover or story. I don't believe that that's their intention to do for the people. They just putting that story up in order for people to sympathize with them. But I don't think that's the thing that's going to happen. These people are capable of taking this thing then from Musa Bility, bringing him down, and also lavishing that money for different use. So the opposition all should get up and demand the stopping of this kind of scrupulous thing. One other information I got, Mr. Chilope, is the contract that the Musa Bility signed with the Liberian government is supposed to expire in 10-year period for the storage issue. But the government bypassing the situation and making it as a fee. Because when you say they're going through the formalities to say it's going to be a tax or whatever, it will take long for them to go through and make sure that to achieve their goal. So basically what they're trying to do is to use this situation as a fee, to make it as a fee, so they can easily recoup it. So it's not fair to be verified. It's not fair.
Well, and Padre, yeah, Linford chimed in on the one because you mentioned Seymour Fremont. They started that long time. It's not just now. Remember when Fagon said they were
that's what I'm saying.
The DSTV, they were going after him, but AirBS that Linford used to work with, he's not doing anything there. So he want to keep up this guy as a businessman who providing television satellite services for people to watch TV. AirBS that should be able to do it, they're not capable of doing it. So they're going after him because why? He's an opposition leader. So this is just a deterrent to all opposition leaders that no. This is what will bring up Mr. Cummings here. Cummings said something years ago that on some of the radio station, when he asked him what have he done for Liberia, he said he get businesses in Liberia, but he cannot disclose his businesses because the wicked government that they will go after his business. So I think he was smart. Linford, talk to us.
Well, you see, the problem with representativeness is that I think the Unity Party people see that he's running too fast. He's gaining too much momentum. This is a man who was just a businessman, and then all of a sudden, in few months, not even all years, but in few months, the very first time he declared his intention to run as representative, he won the district uncontested almost, very massively. And he's been doing projects all over Liberia, in almost all the counties he's there, he's present. And from that experience, when Unity Party people look at it, they say, but this man is moving too fast. And then he formed a government. I mean, not a government. Every political party is a government in waiting. He formed a political party called CMC. And the party will soon be registered. The party is going to get a headquarters soon. And all this kind of thing. I mean, the party is registered, but it will soon be getting headquarters soon. So all these things working fast for him. And so the guys, they look at their performance now. They know they're not performing too well to be strong in 2029. And then you see somebody coming later, so they say, look, we got to start building, barricades. They will let the people come, they will cripple us. So they got to start building barricades. And they reached out to Musa Bility. Actually, the Unity Party people, their chairman reached out to him, but he refused to agree to any collaboration. And from right there, they know that he's a political enemy. So they got to do everything to break his wing. And so they believe that Musa is getting enough money. Imagine how many cars in Monrovia buying gallons of gas. So getting 50 cents, even 1,000 people buying one day, that $500 right there. Can you imagine? So every day you make $500 $500. That's more money. You think that's more money? So they know that this man, he will be strong in a campaign. He will be having money to sponsor a campaign, to do everything, to pay poor workers, just about everything. So they say, no, we got to do something to block this man. That's all it's about. It's not about, and guess what? When they say they're going after, political leaders that got businesses, they're even harming themselves. Because if you put up political people out of business, you close their businesses down, you are employing some people, you are sacking some people indirectly. Okay? Senior Freeman, for example, he got technicians that can go and install the TV, the cable TV to people's houses. If you close that main business down, what will happen? You
Put people out of job.
Yeah. So in a process of trying to silence their political opponents, they also be doing very big harm to themselves, but they don't know yet. They have not realized it. And talking about Eugene Fango, the other day I heard him. I know he was on his farm or where he was something like this small corner he was standing together. He said he want to show that he get farm. You can stretch your hand like they on the farms there. Then you were threatening Stanton. Stanton, if the government will agree with me before the end of this year, you will not be on the air. You're reducing I just look at him and laugh. I say, you see, I mean, insignificant people who cannot build, people who cannot do anything for themselves. They cannot build. Stanton of all person, you think you using Falcon, you're supposed to be threatening Stanton, that kind of thing, that you want to close his radio station down. Yeah? You when Jovial sack you, you're nothing. You're living with Stanton. You're paying you. He put you on the job he got today, he got it from Spoon TV because of your warm off. And then you were threatening him that the station. So I look at you and say, the guy is nobody for true. No, and that's how nobody can act. If you are or nobody, that's how you can act. You don't remember anything. This is a man who was eating in the man plate. If fingerprint stay on the man plate and spoons, still that he can go against him, thinking because he got a government job. When Baka says today you go in, you gone. Where you gonna go? Then start looking for your friends. The same thing he wanted to do comments because he started the first he said you were like trying to when you want spoon, you're like trying to lay against towards coming, or when he saw that coming was not picking in up. Why excuse he gave? He said he was sick and coming did not take a phone to call you. Who the hell are you using for coming to call you? And he doesn't call you, then he can say you going against him. So I mean,
that's the kind of people that the people always celebrated. Mel have usually Falcon.
So like I was saying, the people got they tried by all means to break down their opponents, and in doing that, they'll be harming themselves in a way.
So that's the question. So Verity is saying, I mean, the newspaper is saying here who really benefiting from the 2 cents, the 5 cents, and all that. This is the story you brought up, therefore.
Yeah, but when it comes to the benefit, automatically the people who are making the business, they will benefit because if they were getting 35 cents, if they getting the 2 cents, the 5 cents, and whatever cent it is, they will still. I mean, they may not benefit. They may not even break even, but at least they will get money. And the purpose of making business is what we all know in the business concept. To make business, you got to make profit. That's the purpose of making business, or else you don't make business. So the question as to who will benefit, I think is the people, the business owners that will benefit. But if you cut off their benefit, then what happens? Then they don't benefit, and then they can close down their business. And then who suffers?
When you close down their business, the citizen will suffer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. You see. So these are some of the things that the citizens themselves need to stand up to fight against this kind of mentalities of our country's government. The ruling establishment, and they always go after people that are not part of their party, so, which is completely wrong. I think the government is supposed to be a neutral body to allow everybody to run their business freely. With the only thing that they should be concerned about, the tax that that company need to pay to them, it should not be included. But our government don't care about the tax. They only care about somebody should not step on their foot. Who's stepping on your foot? You the father of the nation. You support your duty, your responsibility is to protect every citizen, to allow them, to give them the free movement, to provide them privacy, to provide them security, for them to carry on their work the way they're supposed to do. Like my dear brother, for having to have a business in Liberia. If you got a warehouse or you got a this and that. If the government does not have a security to patrol around the cities to protect this area, then the criminal go and buffer around the place. When you go to government with your complaint, you say, well, we were looking for it, and nothing happened. how you will be encouraged to continue.
Right.
So this thing, the government need to look at it lentibly to stop witch hunting the people, the business people. Get business people the chance, let them work.
And in a normal country, that's what government does. In a fishy country like Liberia, the Banana Republic, this is where you get, they go after businesses, the business people will close their business, the government, the people will not be in job, there will be beggars in the street. That's what the government wants. Any serious government will not go after businesses. So there's another story here.
But you got to look at it. It's not like Musa Bility is not just ordinary businessman. The man's a politician.
It's a politician. Yeah.
So that's what that's a fear. Why would you allow this guy to be earning?
Look at it this way. They may get over 300 person work for him. And he decided to close his business. The burden is on the country. Forget about being any smart government
does this government really care for its citizens? They don't.
That's what I said. It's a banana republic.
Yeah, they don't. So whether all they want, their political interest is what they want. They don't want anybody standing in their way during the 2029 election. No strong man should stand in their way, like a Musa Bility, who will have enough money to spend on campaign and to spend on voters.
Let's talk this thing here good. I think we should close on it and then let's go to comments and then close on it. The political parties in Liberia, what is showing to Musa Bility now, if the political party is not smart enough to come together to form some big alliance that, look, we need to get rid of these people. If they don't do it, we'll have the same criminals back. I'll be honest here. Because if that people get there, they all fighting this group that are going after them. And these guys, they already sitting down. They know how to cheat. Like in the last election, we know what happened. That the guy that came third place, nobody heard he never campaigned, but he came number 3. So if they don't put their act together, they will give Unity Party another chance to go back. So what they're showing Musa Bility now is the eye opening of all the other people. They need to form a strong alliance to get rid of them. If not, we'll be having the same conversation.
Yeah, let me just bring something to both of your attention.
Before you bring you something, I don't want to call Linford or your inflood. I just.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, but you just struck another point. The political parties will have to see what's happening. So let me tell you one thing. I will give the parable again. When hunchback people in the town, several of them, and one of them die, the way they will be breaking a broom to fit in the casket, that one can make the one end that's standing to laugh, to cry. Mm-hmm. See, not because that friend died, but the way they're treating that one, break all the brooms so he can fit in the casket. So if the political parties know what's happening to Musa, it's time for them to say, look, listen, this could happen to us. And the Unity Party people, they are not strange for this. They always do this. They are cheaters, they are liars, they are good propagandists in a country like Liberia, not elsewhere, but in a country like Liberia, where the majority of people cannot read between the lines. So I think it's a clear warning to the rest of the political parties to put their eyes together. And I can promise you that it may not be all of the parties, but the United Party will face a stiff, strong opposition. I'm telling you, the oppositions will come together. At least 3 or 4 major one of them. The CDC will not go alone. Trust me, the CDC will have to join somebody. ANC will not go alone. ANC will have to join somebody at the end of the day. Okay? And those are the 2 powerful oppositions that I know. The one that they say Kinter, when he not there, he's in Japan. I think he's the ambassador there. So I know they get party again.
Yeah, the time getting against he said he want to tell us something, but I want you to, the thing you want to tell, I want to play this. We're talking about opposition leader. This is, for you saying this about Mr. Cummings, about ANC convention. That Cummings have been quiet. He's not talking. Everybody complaining about him. He said convention coming up with this, a convention that will make he do not start talking. This is the question. This is his message.
To our ANC diasporans in the United States, I hope this meets everybody well. As you know, we'll be going to a convention in Atlanta, Georgia, in about 5 or 6 weeks. It will be a very important milestone, an event for the ANC in the United States. I remind you that Liberia continues to be challenged. Our people continue to suffer. And unless we're prepared and are willing to work together as a people, will not change Liberia. You in the diaspora in the United States have an opportunity to set the example of putting differences aside, of putting egos aside, and coming together to create the strongest diasporan organization in the United States. So as we think about Atlanta, I ask you to think about Liberia and the suffering of our people, and realize that by strengthening ourselves, coming together, we can impact change in Liberia. So I hope I can count on you to make this convention the most successful convention we've had in the ANC, and indeed, perhaps the most successful convention any Liberian political party has had in the United States. I look forward to seeing all of you in Atlanta, to celebrating coming together as one diaspora organization, and to therefore impacting the party in Liberia and future elections in our country. I thank you, God bless you, and God bless Liberia.
So, the convention is in October next month, and they want this thing to be big. And there'll be a convention also in Europe. There'll be a convention in Liberia. It says after this October convention now, we will be seeing Mr. Cummings and the party doing what it's supposed to do. Padole, then Linfa will close us.
Thank you. I believe that Kuno will come out immediately after the Bureau conventions, and we have party leadership in place. I believe that. But mine's appeal is it should not be Mr. Kume alone should be talking. We should try to elect people in the leadership that will be vocal. Every leadership, whether chapter leader, region leader, whoever leader, all should serve as an ambassador for our party, to be the eyes of our party, to be the
Running campaign here now, or
I'm saying after the convention, when we have these leaders in place, let them get up. They should not just sitting down and fold their hands and say, when a boss meeting talk, they can't talk. We all should be able to relay the message to the Liberian people. Every corner of our country, every part of the world where we are represented. That's what I'm saying. I was saying that I wanted to bring something to the attention of us.
Yeah, bring it so because we fit then Linfa will close up.
Yeah. You see, when stupid government continue to suffer people, when stupid government continue to suffer people, when the citizens say enough is enough, all can be rebellion. You say they will do well for us how to come and attack the country. No. They can start right in the middle of the time and make the government official then prepare it. It's happening right now in Nepal. any of you people have seen it on the international television, police people that been knocking people on the street, suppressing people, are going to Harlem today. Those that could not go into Harlem, they naked them, they took all their share up, and paraded them to go and put them somewhere to keep them. The prime minister, the president, all have stepped aside because they've been suppressing the citizens from time to time. The citizens have not been benefiting anything, and that is the first country in the whole world where we had no peace. Liberia second to that country. Liberian people, you open your eyes, you open your arms. That's why.
Thank you for that. Linford, let's wrap it up and close the show, Governor. You got 3 minutes so we can close the show.
Okay, I think probably friends of mine who will watch this show will know now that the ANC is still alive, that Mr. Cummings is still coming back. Because a lot of people can't in my impact. 1%, well, you're not coming by. Why we can't hear your man? Blah, blah, blah. So Mr. Comey is calling on all the people in the diaspora to go to the convention in Atlanta, Georgia in October. So it means that he's coming back. And he promised that this convention will be the best convention ever, at least any political party can have. So that means that the ANC is still alive. Okay. But Mr. Comey said one thing. He said, Liberia continues to suffer, and in order to change that, all Liberia will have to put away their differences to come together, put aside their differences to come together. Now, he was talking to his partisans, but if you extend that beyond the partisan line, where we're talking about, opposition parties joining forces together to stand against the Unity Party, I think that's the starting of the message going out to the opposition parties.
Yes.
Let me tell you, the UP, these people have been in power before. They know exactly what to do. Okay? So if any party would think that, well, I can stand alone and go, well, yes, you will get your vote, you will get your members. They will vote for you. Okay? You can't even guarantee that all of them will vote for you. So you have to build a coalition. And the thing that can respond Liberian politics or the coalition among Liberian political parties is this power greed. Okay, we saw it with George Weah and Prince Johnson. Then every day they demanding. They're not looking at the country, they're looking at themselves. Oh, my people, you're not giving me job, you're not giving me money, the position. No. It should be about the country. Yes, we know when political parties come together, your interest is there. But your foremost interest should be the betterment of the country. So I hope that political parties that will be joining each other, or that will be encouraging each other to join. United Party will also have a coalition, will have people. So it's going to be a tough battle. But if you go in, don't make the position thing your number one priority. Changing the country. When the country is better, whatever position people want, you will get it. So I want to say thank you to all of our viewers on Madam Lucretia Nelson. The last time, Manu, I unfriended you, so you went off the network, but it's good that you are back again. And also, Joseph Control, you are on and off. We hope you'll be back now forever. And let's say also welcome today to Tuare Gibrala. My first time seeing your name, probably you are here most of the time, but I forget.
Man, let's close the show. We should have done that ever since. So on our note,
we forget that. So of course, Madam Champlin was here. So let me recognize her too. In fact, she's here. So on this note, we like to say this is how we are wrapping this edition up. We'll be back here on Tuesday with a fresh edition. If anything happens in the interim, probably we can come on before Tuesday. But my name is Linford Goer. From my end, I want to say goodbye. And Padol is in the UK and Paul the Lord to play Paul. Take us home.
Okay. Thanks, guys, and have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you all on Tuesday. So I'll leave you with a beautiful Liberian song. Let me see. This one will take us down water side.
I go. I not see plenty things with my eyeball. I swear I feeling passing more pressure. If you let cause me for not to judgment day, can't put so on my skin. I know when you in, no fool is a big disgrace. My king just a heaven for my won't let him to you when I hate too. So to my low, if you tired, put it down. Down what I saw. To my low, if you tired, put it down. Down what I saw. To my low, if you tired, put it down. Down what I saw. To my low, if you tired, put it down. Down what I saw. To my low, if you tired, put it down. Down what I saw. To my low, if you tired, put it down. Down what I saw. To my low, if you tired, put it down. Down what I saw. To my low, if you tired, put it down. Down what I saw. To my low, if you tired, put it down. Sitting there, they just want me to do and worry. But my blessing bring Musa Bility. I say my blessing para sole. I don't go, I don't come with morale. Blessing rising, let us say I go out. Children running to jealous, say I know how. Let us say I know how. You tell my Lord, that you will get open more. You tell my Lord, that you will get open. I say you tell my Lord, that you will get open more. You tell my Lord, that you will get open. If you tired, put it down. Down what I saw. To my Lord, if you tired, put it down. Down what I saw. To my Lord.